So it's June 29th, 2020, and the world is still an utter shit show. What the hell? Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first new format episode of the Daily Octane. I am Chris. I am the Daily Octane here. This is a new attempt that I am making to record my thoughts, if nothing else, for posterity here. We are living in the midst of just crazy times here in the United States, in the world in general, and I feel like simply existing inside of social media for me is not enough. I run a podcast with my friend Mark. If you may have found us through here, it's called The Gentleman and the Jerk. But I feel like once a week is just not enough for me to get these insane thoughts I have going on through my head and to get them out to people that are out there. The format that I'm choosing to take is this shot live, recorded live, uploaded daily to Facebook and to YouTube, on the Daily Octane on YouTube, on the Daily Octane on Facebook. And I just want to talk about the crazy shit that's going on in the world. I want it to be unfiltered. I want to be able to cover politics in this channel in a way that I do not feel comfortable doing in the Gentleman and the Jerk show, and really just talk about the crazy ass nonsense that's going on in this country right now. For example, you have these two asshats today. I have no idea who these people are, other than the fact that I've heard that they are lawyers. This is in St. Louis. These two fine folks decided that during a Black Lives Matter protest in St. Louis, in a wealthy 1%, 2% neighborhood, these two sons of bitches were going to pull guns and walk out and try to intimidate the crowd. They claim it was for their safety. I will tell you, carrying those weapons in that way is not safe for them. Mama here has no idea what she's doing with that gun, holding that. And this Jamalk over here, I don't know what he thinks he's going to do holding a weapon like that. Now, I was actually trained in the United States Marine Corps to fire a rifle. I learned on an M16, very similar to what he's holding right there. I'm assuming that is either an actual M16 or some form of an AR-15. He tries to fire that weapon like that, the thing's going to go right through his arms. So I don't know what the heck he thinks he's doing, but, this is not the beginning of this. This is also not likely going to be the end of this. We are living in a time right now here in the United States with unabashed racism. I see it every day on Facebook. I see it every day on Instagram and Twitter. There is this idea that all of a sudden, maybe because of our president, that it's okay to just be an asshole, to be racist, to be a bigot in modern society, and to feel that you have enough safety behind your keyboard to just spout your nonsense all over social media. I mean, I simply do not understand how we got to where we are right now. When I was growing up as a child, I lived in a fairly white, middle-class, rural area. There was very few people of black and brown skin, and I still don't feel like I was raised to be a racist. I joined the Marine Corps. I served along a lot of African-American members of the armed services, and I never felt this need to be a bigot or to be racist or to be fearful of people because of the color of their skin. And yet, if nothing else, social media in this time of this pandemic and social unrest that we're experiencing right now after the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis, people feel incredibly comfortable to just spout their bullshit. And I don't understand why we think it's okay. If you missed it yesterday, the president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, the Cheeto that he is, thought it was okay to retweet a video from the Villages in Florida where some jackass decides to shout white power. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the Villages. The Villages are one of the oddest places on the planet. And these people down here, they do a parade on a regular basis. They have their golf carts and they drive around. This right here is where the Villages is. So this is in Florida. Let me zoom out here a little bit. So right in the middle of Central Florida, as you can see, this is crazy land right here. And this whole area right here is the Villages. And it's all people that are generally older. I guess from what I'm learning now, there are people in their 30s all the way up to people in their 80s that live in this community. But it's become known as it's the STD capital of the United States. They are just a bunch of weird people. And this guy thought it was okay in his golf cart, while being admonished by people that hate Trump, which I'm in that group. He did the whole thing. White power, white power. And the president of the United States retweeted that out to his sycophantic, absolutely bigoted followers. And now the White House dialed it back. They deleted the tweet. It's one of those things that at this day and age, 3.5 years into his presidency, it's almost easy to forget that he's an asshole, that he's a bigot, that he's a racist, that he loves to spread seeds of discontent and sow division in the populace, and he's doing it. And then we got Florida. Florida in general, the whole state of Florida. Let me go back here. The whole state of Florida, they are in the midst of an absolute horrific spike right now in their COVID cases. You got restaurants that are going back down in capacity. Bars can no longer serve alcohol. And yet, in the infinite wisdom of the people down there, you still have Universal Studios in Orlando, SeaWorld in Orlando, Legoland in Orlando, all these major amusement parks, world-class destinations that people come from all over the world, all over the United States. And these parks are deciding to still stay open. And then you have Disney World. Now, if you don't know me, if you're coming across the Daily Octane for the first time, I am a huge, huge Disney nut. I have Disney tattoos all over my body. I go to Disney World 3 or 4 times a year. I worked as a cast member at Disneyland many, many years ago. I drink the Kool-Aid. I'm a huge Disney fan. They are scheduled to be opening in a couple of weeks, and it's just too early. They decided to have a pass holder preview event at the Magic Kingdom, where they invite pass holders in to come see the new changes before the general public is able to come in and get access. Like that, it was sold out. It's a sold out event. Who knows how many people they're letting in? That information has not become public knowledge yet, but I will tell you, whatever that information is, it's too soon. They are not ready for this yet. The state their numbers are spiking. It's crazy to me that the governor of that state, and here is what is going on right now. They had a spike. This is the largest single day yet that they had yesterday, and they were at 9,585 cases yesterday. Today, 2 days ago. I apologize. 2 days ago. Yesterday, that number dropped a little bit to 8,530. That is still an absolutely terrifying number. Now, you see this trajectory that they're taking right here. For a while, they were doing okay. In the midst of all of this, they started to open up. And it took a while for it to start to spread, but you see all of a sudden right here. Now, I'm not a scientist. I am not an epidemiologist, but I'm going to tell you, my guess right here is this is where it started getting really hot. This is when people started staying indoors. They stopped going outside and exercising. They decided to hit the restaurants. They decided to hit the gyms. They decided to hit the malls and get into air conditioning, and all of a sudden, it spread. Now, Governor Cuomo here in New York State, he's been talking about air conditioning and why the malls are dangerous because of that air conditioning. Well, here's the proof in the pudding right here. Now, the number of deaths are not going up. I can switch over here to deaths, and you can see the deaths are staying pretty static. As a matter of fact, I would almost even say that they're going down right here. But here's the thing. In general, when somebody gets sick with COVID, especially somebody that's got underlying health conditions, when they get sick with COVID, they feel sick for a week or so. Then they go to the hospital. Then they have really labored breathing. Then the cytokine storm hits as their lungs and their own immune system starts to battle back and loses control. Then they become intubated. Then on a breathing system, the patient starts to decline over the course of the next 10, 15, 18 days. Then they expire. We're looking at a spike beginning right here on June 8th, 9th, say June 9th, and then the first big spike was right here on June 13th. Now today is June 29th, which means that we are now 16 days from these lower cases. 16 days. Now, they say that death, for those people with underlying conditions, death occurs between 18 and 25 days if they're intubated, if they're in ICU. That means that we are a couple days away from starting to see these deaths. If if things from New York, the history that we've seen with this disease and the way in which death finds its way into this is when you're going to start seeing these things spike up. This, over the next week or so, 2 weeks, into this one right here, we're talking about 3 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now, 5% death rate in general for those people that get the disease. You're talking 10,000 deaths. I don't know. Let's do the math real quick. What's 10,000 times 0.05? I'm not doing the math on this right because I'm not really a good person at this. What is it? It'll be 5% divided by 20. So that's 5 for every 100. And then this is almost 10,000. That's a lot of death. We're talking hundreds of people a day dying when we get to this point. Now, I am not a mathematician. I'm just an idiot that likes to talk online. But the fact is, we got a lot of death possibly coming here in Florida. And it's not a laughing matter. It's absolutely sad because I have friends in Florida that continue to say that it's no big deal, that they don't need to wear masks, that it's being overblown. You have people that are talking about how nationwide, that these new spikes in cases that you're seeing in Florida and Texas and Arizona and South Carolina, it's because of protesting. It's because of protesting. Well, that doesn't make any sense at all because the protesters are outdoors. They're generally wearing masks. I've been to protests. They are generally wearing masks, almost all of them. But they're not in these restaurants in Florida. They're not in these bars in Texas. They think that they don't need the masks, that the masks are all nonsense, that Bill Gates wants to microchip them. It's unbelievable. So I just wanted to come on here for a couple minutes today and rant a little bit. I'm looking to do something a little different here. For any of you that are subscribers already to the channel that may have been watching the Daily Octane for some time, I have often done it as a vlog format. I do adventure stuff, whether it's with my GoPro or Disney vlogging. I'm still going to do that. But because I have tried a couple of times with failure to do the Daily Octane as a daily vlog, unfortunately, I run a small business. I am incredibly busy. I don't get away very much. I'm not going to be a travel vlogger. I'm not going to be an amazing adventure blogger. I'm not going to be a reckless lifestyle vlogger. This is what I have. I have an attitude. I have insight. And I'm able to express the things that I'm feeling and saying. And this format for me works better than just posting to my friends and my family on Facebook. So if you like this rant today, this is just a little bit of what's to come. I'm looking to do 15 minutes to a half hour every day. I'm filming it live. I'm recording it live. There'll be no editing. The edit process will be done in camera, and then maybe a little bit of titling at the end. Upload it to YouTube, upload it to Facebook, and then we'll go from there. I just want to add my insight on the whatever the news story is of the day, whatever topics are trending, that kind of stuff. That's really all I'm looking to do. So if you liked what you saw today, click like on Facebook, click like on YouTube, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, follow the page, like the page on Facebook as well. And if you really like what you're seeing, there's going to be a lot more of this to come. I think this is the right format. It allows me to do the things that I want to do. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's Daily Octane and the rant that came with it. I will be back tomorrow with whatever crazy shit happens then. Have a great night.